judge because I said Nick Walker could actually. Could he win the Olympia?
No. I've got to shoot.
Boom, right there. No. Right? The no hesitation. No hesitation from the athlete's representative, Bob Cicherillo, on saying that no, Nick Walker can't win the Mr. Olympia.
Problem is he's got an H taper. Okay. And
Okay. That was the line right there. That makes me laugh every time I hear it. He's got an H taper. He's just like digging it in to Nick Walker here. Athlete's representative saying this, which is, hey, I give Bob Cicherillo credit for being very honest and open and transparent on his opinion of these athletes. Like, Bob is all out on, like, I don't like Nick Walker's physique. He's not afraid to say it. He doesn't think Nick Walker is ever going to win the Mr. Olympia. He thought Nick Walker should have lost the New York Pro to Martin Fitzwater. Bob is like enemy number one to Nick Walker. Now, I know they're friends and it's fine and whatever, but like going on these shows and saying that again and again and again, that's got to eat away at Nick Walker. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Muscle Discord. And I wanted to chime in on this interview that Bob Cicherillo did on the Cutler Cast podcast, and talking about Nick Walker. And, you know, Jay posed the question to Bob saying, you know, can Nick Walker win the Mr. Olympia? Now, this is about a 2-minute clip, so I'm just going to play the clip, let you guys watch it, and then I'm going to react after Bob is finished talking here. And yeah, I got a lot to say here. So let's just play the clip. Let's go right into it.
To last year's New York Pro that I thought Fitzwater beat Nick Walker. Now, it's no secret I'm not a big Nick Walker fan in terms of his physique, and I have to say that because it got nothing to do with Nick as a personal thing. It's like, look, we're in the field, we're in the world of bodybuilding. Okay, that's what we do. We assess physiques. You know, the difference if you're in a race car, and I didn't like the color of your race car. Okay, doesn't mean I don't like you. Right, but you know, he's blocky and he's short and he's, you know, he doesn't have a lot of V.
Okay, I can't wait till the end. I have to actually pause it and react while we go through this. So he's blocky and he's short. He's really going all in on Nick Walker with his very harsh criticism of Nick Walker's physique. And this is the voice of bodybuilding. This is the guy that holds the torch for the athletes as the preordained athletes representative saying this, which is, hey, I give Bob Cicherillo credit for being very honest and open and transparent on his opinion of these athletes. And it's a good thing to see. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with what Bob's saying here, but let's continue.
Taking all that stuff. I thought Martin looked great. Martin was in the 95 percentile. He was ripped. Actually, he was in better condition than Nick. And I've seen various reviews online where they'll take the double biceps and they'll put them next to this guy.
You actually said I wasn't a good judge because I said Nick Walker could actually. Could he win the Olympia?
No. I've got to shoot.
Boom, right there. No. Right. The no hesitation. No hesitation from the athlete's representative, Bob Cicherillo, on saying that no, Nick Walker can't win the Mr. Olympia. That was a pretty quick answer there.
Yeah, right there. I mean,
you don't think? Listen,
I should say no. I mean,
that's
listen,
what I
could
mean.
he win it?
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible, but you would have so many people.
If the stars aligned,
you'd have 4 people would have to.
You don't think 2 years ago?
He can't even give it. He can't even say. He can't even be like, if anything's possible, but you still have to have like 4 people die before Nick could even get past those guys. It's funny. It's funny.
You don't think 2 years ago?
I think 2 years ago he could have
maybe
potentially,
but he's not going in the right direction.
Yeah,
like I didn't like what I just saw. He just put out some.
He's not going in the right direction. Think about that. If you're Nick Walker and you're watching this, you gotta be pretty pissed off to hear this. Maybe it's gonna light the fire under Nick's ass. Not that he really needs it, but this is a lot. And this 2 minutes here, this is a lot.
Proclamation, he's got the 306.
Yeah.
And now he's going to start. And I'm thinking, why would you get anywhere past? You didn't lose your last show because you weren't big enough. You know what I mean?
Well, Samson's 300, and I mean,
I don't care what.
foot
Well, Samson's 6 foot
Yeah,
tall.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not hating on Bob here. I'm like his transparency. I agree. Why the hell are you getting up over 300 pounds, Nick Walker? You're big enough, right? Your waistline is already an issue. Yet you're packing on more muscle mass? Why not work on just refining your physique? You're, like Bob is saying, you're big enough. You don't need to get any bigger. Yet you're over 300 pounds in the off season here, and you're like proud of it.
Andrew Jack, 6'2". I mean, you're not going to. But Nick, you didn't lose your last show because you weren't big enough or thick enough. This guy's got more muscle than anybody.
That's
I
true.
give credit where it's due. He's got a lot of
He's
muscle
big, yeah.
on that frame. Problem is he's got an H taper. Okay, and
Okay, that was the line right there. That makes me laugh every time I hear it. He's got an H taper. He's just like digging it in to Nick Walker here. This is crazy.
that ain't going to sit next to these guys. Let me tell you, Martin, I thought should have beat him in New York because the three things that we just mentioned were completely, I don't want to say overlooked, but they should have been given more weight. Like when you see all those things online.
Oh, it was a 1-point score, so it was one.
But here's the
swung it.
problem I got, Jay. You see the stuff online where they got the, okay, front double by, who wins it? Okay, we're going to give this one to this guy. Front last, brother. Oh, hang on a second. Who had better symmetry? Did we forget that whole thing that just happened remember when they were doing the turn?
There's no such thing as a quarter turn round anymore, though.
Well, there is.
Well, we used to have,
But it needs to be considered.
That's what
you are judged on it. You're not scored on it.
Yeah.
And I keep having to make this distinction to people. Like, well, you don't get a score for it. You don't need to get a score yet. You get judged on your entire physique.
as soon as you walk out,
The second you walk out there until the second you walk off. How many times have we heard a guy, well, in his transitions, he really wasn't keeping his midsection.
Yeah. So Bob is all out on like, I don't like Nick Walker's physique. He's not afraid to say it. He doesn't think Nick Walker is ever going to win the Mr. Olympia. He thought Nick Walker should have lost the New York Pro to Martin Fitzwater. Bob is like enemy number one to Nick Walker. Now, I know they're friends and it's fine and whatever, but like going on these shows and saying that again and again and again, that's got to eat away at Nick Walker. You know, mentally, like this is the voice of bodybuilding. This is the guy that's the MC at the Olympia that's calling out your name. This is the athlete's representative. So guys, leave a comment below. Do you think Bob is being too harsh? Is Bob Cicherillo a hater of Nick Walker? Right? A lot of people like to call me a hater on Samson or a hater on Sam Sulek. Now, add that one to the list. Is Bob Cicherillo a hater for just being transparent and speaking his mind like I do against Nick Walker? All right, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I just want to do a quick reaction video to this one because there was a lot in that short clip. There was a lot, right? And Bob went all the way in on Nick Walker. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Remember to like the video and subscribe. I love you guys. Catch you next time. Peace.